Hi guys, and welcome back to a new video. In today's video, I will be talking about 4 different farms that you can do in a group or solo, and that can reward you with a lot of very interesting items such as mounts and transmog items that you can then sell on the auction house. So these 4 different farms will take place in Battle for Azeroth, and I'm sure that many of you are already aware of these different farms. Basically, with these farms, the main items we are after are going to be all the different mounts that are zone specific from Battle for Azeroth. So in some of the zones from Battle for Azeroth, when killing some of the mobs, you can get some of these mounts. You have first the capture Dune Scavenger in Vol'dun. You then have Goldmane's reigns in Stormsong Valley. You then have the reigns of the Tamed Bloodfeaster in Nazmir. And finally, the chewed-on reins of the Terrified Pack Mule in Drustvar. So these 4 mounts can be farmed and then you can sell them on the auction house, and most of the time you can really sell them for a lot of gold. Of course, when you are doing all the different farms I'm going to talk about in today's video, and when you're trying to get these mounts, you can also get other items that can be very, very interesting. So some of them include, for instance, some of these really cool weapons. Most of them are like recolors of like some weapons from Legion or from the previous expansion, Wilds of Trainer. So really, all of them have a unique coloration, not a unique skin, but unique coloration. And so definitely you will be able to sell some of them. And of course, one of the best weapon you can get is going to be the Tibu Scorching Straight Sword. This one is completely unique. This is kind of a new version of the Tibu, like normal blazing longsword. And so definitely this is something you can sell for a lot of gold as well. And finally, next to that, you also have one last item that is going to be pretty interesting. And this is the Abyssal Fragments. So basically, with these different Abyssal Fragments, when you have 20 of them, you can then combine them in order to create the Najatar Blood Serpent. And so really, these ones are, okay, again, things you can sell on the auction house, and they can really like sell quite well, especially again, as people will need to have 20 of them. In order to do all these different farms, what you want to do is find a group, or again, you can do it solo, but it's just going to be way more effective with a group. You can either do like a group of 5 people, or you can do a group, like 2 groups of 4 people. So if you want to find a group, normally you can simply come here in pre-made groups custom, and if you type mount, usually you will have some mounts that are available for some of these different like farms, and you just join them, and then you will be able to like just start a farm. I'm going to explain what are the best zones in each of the regions of Battle for Azeroth in order to do these farms. But before that, of course, I just want to really insist on the fact that this is really rare. So sometimes it can really take you maybe like more than like, I don't know, 3-4 hours of farm in order to get even one mount. Again, sometimes for one group, it will be like, 1 hour, 3 mounts. So just something that you need to keep in mind if you're trying to do this farm and to get the mounts. Just don't be too much discouraged if after like the first hour you don't get anything, like any epics or any mounts, because this is unfortunately how it is. This one, as you can see, can be sold on European realms for an average 216 to 250k gold. I personally sold recently 2 of them for 350k gold on my realm. But on some realms, unfortunately, you will have to really be careful because they are extremely cheap. So for instance, right now on Twisting Never on European realms, it's only 45,000 gold. And so here I would definitely not recommend you doing this farm because it's not worth it. Then on US realms, it's going to be between 350k gold to 572k gold. And the sell rate for this mount is 0.06. After that, for the captured Dune Scavenger on European realms, it's going to be 390 to 426,000 gold. So this one is pretty good, but again, on some realms, it might be a little bit cheap. So just make sure to check. On US realms, the Dune Scavenger is going to be between 340 to 365,000 gold. And again, on some realms, unfortunately, it's not worth really anything. And this one has a sell rate of 0.06 as well. After that, we have Goldmane's range. So this one is a little bit more expensive simply because it's a little bit more difficult to get. It sells for anywhere between 525 to 633k gold on European realms. And then after that, you can sell it on US realms for 550 to 715k gold on average. and the Sellrate on this one is 0.02 at the moment. After that, we have the chewed on reins of the Terrified Pack Mule. So this one is the most annoying to get, and so this is why the price is the most interesting, let's say. It sells on European realms for 800 to 953k gold, so almost a million. And then on US realms, it's going to be actually way cheaper, between 300 to 524k gold. And this one has also a sell rate of 0.03 at the moment. And then let's just take the example of the sword. So this sword, as you can see, on European realms can be sold for 397,000 gold to 473,000 gold. And on US realms for 400 to 556,000 gold, and the sell rate is 0.03. So let's start with the first farm, and this is the Tamed Bloodfeaster mount. So what you want to do is come here in Nazmir, and you want to come in this part of the map near Torghast Rest. So what you want to do is, again, kill all the mobs that are around, especially these ones, the Loa Gutter Skull Crusher and the Loa Gutter Butcher. And you just want to really kill all the mobs until that point over there. If you're doing it solo, just make sure to really try and kill the most mobs you can so they really respawn fast. And of course, if you're in a group, really make sure to kill all of them, because otherwise they might not hyperspawn, and then the farm is not going to be really efficient. You can also come here in the Frog Marsh, and here you want to kill all the different Blood Hunter and all these different mobs that are here. And normally, again, this is something you can do in a group or solo, and these mobs have all a chance at getting the mount. So this is another area that is pretty good, and there is a good concentration of mob. And so what you want to do again is simply come kill the mobs again and again and again. Maybe loot every 1 minute and a half, something like that, or you can just decide to loot every 20 minutes, as this is an epic item. It will stay there. But this is really easy to do. And so this is how you can get these reins of the Tamed Bloodfeaster. So now for the Dune Scavenger. All you want to do is come to Vol'dun, and here you have a couple of points that can be really good to farm the mount. So the first one is going to be just here at this location. So all you want to do is kill all the mobs that are until there, also over there, and then go inside this little cave where you also want to pull all these different mobs. And like that, normally with a group of 5, you can easily kill all the mobs, and they hyperspawn extremely well. After that, you can of course also go here directly in that part of the city. There is a lot of mobs that you can also kill. And you also have this point just here that can also be very interesting. Let's now talk about Goldenmane. So for this mount, what you want to do is come here in Stormsong Valley in the Mariner's Strand. And in my opinion, the best spot is going to be just this one. So you want to kill all the mobs from here and the shore, also the docks, and circle around, kill all of them. And normally, if you really manage to kill all of them, you will be able to make them hyperspawn. So this is, in my opinion, really the best spot. But you can also decide to go just here a little bit next to this spot where there is the boat. This one sometimes, as right now, there are some expeditions with Naga invasion, so the mobs won't be there. So don't bother if it's with these Nagas. But otherwise, in normal times, you can find all the mobs and just circle around and kill all of them. And there is also a pretty good chance of getting the mount from all the mobs here. Finally, for the reins of the Terrified Pack Mule, what you want to do is come in Dressbar, and just here in these parts, you will have all these different mobs here. So you want to pull all the mobs up until that point, and also over there. So again, make really sure to kill all of them so they really hyperspawn. And then, of course, you also want to go in the cave, where inside the cave you will have a lot of mobs as well. So have someone in the cave killing all of them, and people outside circling and killing the mobs outside. And like that, you will be able at some point to get them out. So that's going to be pretty much it for today's video. I really hope you will be able to make some gold with these different mounts and with these different farms. Again, don't get discouraged if after 1 or 2 hours you don't get any drop. It's normal, unfortunately. It takes some time, and it's really based on RNG. So sometimes you'll be lucky, sometimes you won't. That's just how it is. I will be back very soon with more videos and with more guides. And in the meantime, I wish you all a great weekend. Bye!